Okay, so I was cut off. Hopefully you guys will realize that you need to watch both of these videos. Also, as I was playing back the last video to see exactly where we left off, I realized that there is a chainsaw-like noise in the background. That is my dog snoring. I got dogs. I'm pretty excited about it. But yeah, so please excuse that snoring. It's my little dog, my potato. All right, so we left off on the best way to figure out how much money you should go into needs, leisure, and savings is to write down everything you spend for 1 to 3 months. This really gives you a clear picture of what you're actually spending, and it gives you a realistic look at what you do spend, and so that you can make smart decisions about what you're spending. Is it going to be realistic for you to only spend $10 on eating out when normally you spend $200 on eating out? And so it's a really good way to kind of figure out your budget. It's a necessary first step in making a realistic budget. And remember, we really want this budget to be realistic so that we can be successful and that this client can be successful. Just like when we make SMART goals, we want them to be realistic and attainable. All right, so then the last thing that I wanted to note in my extra notes is emergency fund. So the goal for an emergency fund is that you have enough money in that fund to pay for 6 months of your needs if you had no income. So emergency funds are something that you want to set up so that if you ever lost your job or needed to take time off for a number of reasons, you would be able to do that comfortably in a financial sense. So when it says in the requirements that your recommendation must include a budget line for emergency funds, you must include a budget line for emergency funds where the end goal is to have 6 months of needs expenses covered. So you're not going to be able to do that necessarily in 1 month, but and it takes time to build an emergency fund, just like it takes time to build any savings or retirement. It's really important to have that. Also, on the vein of taking time to save, that is why I recommend that you start saving as much as you can now, because you can't. If I could go back and have saved 50% and then some of everything that I made from my babysitting jobs to when I worked in an ice cream shop as a high school student, I would go back and have like shook myself and made myself save or put something into retirements or invest it or do something that was going to not just blow that money. Especially because I didn't have any bills at that time. All right, so you're going to make your budget. You're basically gonna do a write-up of what the person is currently spending so that you can figure out and create a budget for this person, a recommended budget. Remember, we want them to be saving a minimum of 20%. You're gonna have to figure out if some of that percentage, what's going to emergency funds, what's going to savings. You're gonna decide if you want to do a retirement or investment for them in those budget lines for savings and retirement for that category. So then the questions that you're going to answer after you make this budget, the first is, what questions do you wish you could ask the client in order to create a realistic budget for them? So did you have any other questions for them that could help you make a better and more realistic budget that they could follow? This person that we're going to see actually even says that she's sometimes really strict with her money, sometimes she's not, and she struggles to be consistent. So that's what we want for someone, is to be able to have the ability to consistently follow a budget, and the way we do that is by making it realistic. The next question is, how much money would this client have in their savings and their retirement account after 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years? So this could be shown in your budget, like you could add columns for it, or you could just type it and put it in this question here. I would love for you, if you put it in your budget, to write a note as shown in the budget or shown in the budget, something like that. Next question, how long will it take the client to reach the goal of having enough in their emergency fund account to cover 6 months of living without income? So how many months is it going to take to get to that 6 month they have enough to cover 6 months of needs expenses? And then number 4, after answering these questions, would you make any other changes to the recommended budget? So, you know, if you take a look back and you think, oh, wow, it's going to take her 12 years to get 6 months for an emergency fund, maybe I should tweak this. Or maybe you're going to say, like, oh, wow, she's only going to have $20 in her savings account after 1 year. Or, oh, wow, they're only on 20%, but that really doesn't go a very long way. Would you make any different recommendations? For this question, you don't need to make the changes. You just need to explain here what you would change after answering these questions. And then another thing I wanted to cover real quick, I noticed the schedule wasn't posted on the school website, and they added in a support day this week. So I'm starting from Tuesday because that's our first class today. Today, Tuesday is A Day, that's the 21st. Wednesday is going to be a support day. I will be available for a Google Hangout or Zoom. I can do either. Please let me know if you would like to schedule some time for any help with this assignment in any way. Also, don't feel limited to just scheduling time with me for that support day. I am doing all my lessons not live, so I do have flexibility with my schedule. And then, does anyone want to do a distance circle on Zoom? If you do, put it in the comments. We could do it on this Wednesday support day. We could pick a time. And then you're going to have class again on Friday. You're going to continue to work on this assignment on Friday, and then the assignment is going to be due on Tuesday, which is our next class, so Tuesday the 28th. And if you have any questions, please put them as public on the post, comment them as public on the post, so that way other students can benefit from your questions. And yeah, also feel free to, like, you know, if you want to Google Hangout to catch up, if you know, whatever you need from me, I'm here for you. I miss you guys. I wish we were in class. Did not think I'd be saying that at the start of all this, but I do wish that we were back already. And yeah, let me know if you want to do a distance circle. All right.